Hi, these are very old wooden planks. They used to be the flooring in a house built in 1896, and today I'm going to make a beautiful dining table out of them. The idea was to make a table which would look like a table in an old French cafe or an old French restaurant, something like this. I've searched through the local flea markets and I was lucky to find a table base which looked exactly as on my inspo pictures. It was made of cast iron and had those beautiful ornate legs. The price was also perfect. This table base cost just about $40. The base arrived disassembled. You can see it is rather rusty. First, we thought about painting it black, and to prepare the pieces for painting, Gary is cleaning all the parts with a wire brush. The brush has removed the rust pretty easily, revealing nice cast iron surface, and we liked it so much that finally we've decided to leave the base as is without painting. The table is going to sit indoors, no high humidity is expected there, and the natural cast iron color looks so nice, and we can always paint it later if we want to. After all the parts were cleaned, we've started assembling the base, and I found out that we have extra parts. I thought each leg of the base consisted of 4 parts, but in fact there are only 2 on each side. So as it turned out, we've bought not 1 base but 2. The second base is 1-legged, and we'll be able to make a round table out of it later. One connector at the bottom is missing, but I think we'll come up with something. As for the tabletop, first we thought about making it out of pine boards, but actually using pine for a dining table is not the best idea, because pine is pretty soft wood, and at that moment I thought, what if we had more wooden planks, which we used for one of our previous projects? And so I decided to search online as well. Old flooring is very often offered for free from those who renovate their floors. I found several possible options, and then I came across an announcement offering redwood flooring from the old building in St. Petersburg, and I asked the person who offered it if he could send it to me. He agreed to do this, and so now we have the perfect material for making the tabletop. All that was left was to figure out how to make a table out of the planks. I want to make a beautiful pattern on the tabletop, since the slats arrived in a variety of hues of red and brown. So Gary has made sketches for me, and I've chosen the diagonal pattern going from the middle. But before making the tabletop, I want to properly clean the planks. There is centuries-old dust and glue residues, as well as many layers of varnish covering the planks. First, let's change the clothes. Doing such work in a white t-shirt is not the best idea. First, I'm rubbing all the planks with a wire brush to remove dry dirt. The glue has dried out with time, so I'm scratching the leftovers off pretty easily. And I'll be using paint stripping gel to remove the varnish. It can burn the skin since it contains acid, so be sure to wear thick gloves when you use paint stripper. I even wear 2 pairs, one on top of the other. And best is to work outside, since the solution is rather smelly. I'm smearing each plank with the stripper generously, leaving it to react for about 10 minutes. You may want to cover it with a plastic bag for a better reaction, and then I'm scraping the softened varnish off. I like to use an old table knife for this action. In places, the varnish layer was very thick and wouldn't go away completely, so I've had to reapply the stripper and repeat. This work is rather dirty and not the most pleasant one, but using paint stripper is still much faster than sanding the varnish off. After I have cleaned all the planks, I'm sanding them lightly to remove any varnish leftovers. This also helps to reveal the true wood color, which is important for me as I'm going to arrange them by color. After that, I'm sorting out the planks. The flooring was repaired many times apparently, and part of the planks had been replaced, so there are newer light oak colored planks and older ones that have a beautiful shade of burgundy, as well as several shades of red and pink. I've finally sorted out all the planks by color into 5 piles, from dark brown and burgundy through different shades of reddish pink to light brown. They all look brown here actually, as the camera couldn't catch all the hues, but after a sealing they look much brighter. We will use 20 mm thick plywood as the base of the tabletop, and we have already pre-cut it to size in a hardware store. First of all, I'm drawing the guiding lines, dividing the base into 4 quarters. I've tried out different layouts, arranging the planks by color, and we've ended up with the darkest hues in the middle, blending gradually into the light ones towards the edges. Gary is cutting all the planks to fit the quarters on the tabletop according to the sketch. To make everything nice and even, first he's making diagonal cuts that will go along the guiding lines in the middle. Then he's arranging the pieces along the line. After that, he's outlining the second cutting lines along the edges, and finally he's cutting the other edges off. To ensure everything is in place, Gary has screwed guiding planks to the plywood. He will unscrew them after the glue sets. After everything has been cut, it's my turn again, and I'm attaching the planks to the base using wood glue. We're working in quarters. First, Gary has cut the pieces for 1 quarter and I've glued them on. Then he's removed and reattached the guiding planks, and we've made the second quarter. Gary is also cutting the planks diagonally to sit along the central line first. Then he's adjusting everything, outlining the edge of the table and cutting the other edges of the planks. And I'm gluing the pieces onto the second quarter, ensuring all the planks fit along the line where the quarters meet. After the second quarter has dried, Gary is reinstalling the guiding planks again, and we are attaching the planks onto the third quarter. Finally, the fourth one. In the end, I'm adding a row of planks along the edges as if making a frame for the diagonal pattern. I think it gives the whole thing a finished look. We're making an extra frame on the inside of the tabletop to make the support for the edging. And finally, I'm attaching another row of planks along the edge, now arranging them vertically. This makes the tabletop look thicker. The tabletop is now fully assembled and Gary is working out all the edges using a router, smoothing all the sharp edges out. Next, I'm sanding the surface of the tabletop, first using a coarse grit as all the planks are a little different and there are uneven spots, so I'm leveling the surface, and then I'm finishing it with a fine grit to smooth everything out. Finally, I'm sealing the tabletop with a poly sealer to reveal the wood color. Gary is attaching the tabletop to the base and the table is complete. I love it so much! The pattern turned out great. It looks like a work of art and not just a dining table. And all those color blends look simply gorgeous. The tabletop fits the cast iron base nicely and the table looks just as I wanted it to be, like an old table in a French cafe. I'm thinking of adding a couple of vintage bent wood chairs to accompany the table to finish the atmosphere. Well, I hope you liked today's project. It's been a while since I posted anything, but I have reasons for that, and in my next videos I'll tell you why. Hope to see you in my next one. Bye bye!